The Cheeseboy 628 Show, starring Cheeseboy 628.
Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Cheeseboy628 here today, giving you an OU tier Pokemon Showdown battle. And yes, this will be the last 5th gen Showdown battle before 6th gen does come in, but do not worry, I have plenty of videos still saved up from this gen, and I have plenty of teams that I still want to use for sure that you guys have sent me. Anyway, this is a team by my buddy Watercolors. It is Banded T-Tar, Defensive Lando T, Scarf Chomp, E-Belt, Rotom Wash, Sashed Alakazam, and Specially Defensive Heatran. Now looking at my opponent's team, it's definitely obscure seeing as he has 2 Evolutions, and I don't know, it's kind of a weird team, and I'm kind of scared of Espeon because it could be a Calm Mind variant, it could set up screens, it could Baton Pass. I'm scared seeing as that big threat Haxorus is on his team, and Shandy's a big threat as well, so hopefully if I can disable that Espeon, I should be fine. So let's see how this battle goes. So I'm going to start out right with my Rotom Wash to see if I can get some damage on something, maybe Skarmory if it's a lead to bring it down to its sturdy, but here I just go for the Volt Switch and I am E-Belt, so that's telling me that he is not Scarfed, and I see that here from the lefties, and of course he goes for the Willow first turn, so now my Garchomp's kind of useless, and he does bring in Skarmory, and I know he's probably going to do that, so I go for the Fire Blast. Now I am locked into that. He could go into Umbreon, he could go into Shandy. I'm not sure, so I'm just going to switch out, and turns out he brings in Espeon. Now I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch here, get a bit of damage, possibly go into T-Tar to get a Pursuit off or something of the sort. And here I have my Lando T, and as he has his Rotom Wash, I'm just going to go for the U-turn. I am faster, thankfully, and I'm just going to come in with Rotom Wash and eat up that Hydro pretty nicely. So now I can go for the Volt Switch here pretty easily, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. He actually brings in Haxorus, which is kind of weird, so I'm just going to bring in Lando T here since I am defensive, and I have the Intimidate on him now, so I should be fine. Turns out he goes for the Aqua Tail, and he gets the crit. Ow, that hurt. Because now my physical wall is gone, and I can't even get up my rocks now, which would have been nice against that Shandy. But now here I think he's going to go into Skarmory again, and I could have just blocked myself in Outrage, but no. That is not the case, and he brings in Rotom Wash, making a nice play. And he knows I'm going to switch out, so he goes for the Volt Switch here. Really nice plays. So now he is faster here, so that's telling me he definitely has plenty of speed investment on that Espeon, and he gets that light screen up. Now I'm going to go for the Pursuit, thinking he might just want to switch out, although they do carry Baton Pass usually, but this doesn't seem like that kind of variant. Now here he goes for the Yawn of all things, but thankfully I do bring in my Chomp because I already have the status, so it doesn't affect me. Now he brings in Umbreon, and that was a crit, so that's like saying the Reflect isn't up right now, and of course I'm just locked in Outrage. I'm kind of surprised he didn't go into Skarmory to try setting up hazards or anything of the sort, but nonetheless I'm kind of fine here. Turns out he goes for the Protect here. I guess he values his Umbreon more than getting anything else back to a nicer amount of health, but that's totally fine by me. I just want these screens to go away, and then hopefully I should have a better time destroying his team. So he goes for the Wish once again. His screens are still up, so I don't think T-Tar is able to do much. I go for the Superpower and I get the crit, which is huge. So now I can take out that Skarmory, which is really nice, so that's nice revenge hex. So he brings in Haxorus now, and I think I should probably just fodder off my Garchomp, but he actually goes for the DD, so now I'm able to lock myself into Outrage and take out that Haxorus, which is really great because otherwise that thing could have probably swept my team, except I do have the Sash with my Zam still intact. Now he brings in his Espeon, and he is able to get off the light screen before he goes down, so that's a tad unfortunate because most of my pokes left are special attackers. And he brings in his Umbreon now, and I'm thinking it's probably a special wall, so my Focus Blast isn't going to do too much, plus the fact that he has light screen up. So here I'm just going to go for the Crunch, thinking he might just switch out to Shandy, predicting the Superpower. Turns out he just stays in and goes for the Foul Play. So here I just need to stall out a bit. I need to get that light screen away so my special attackers can actually do some damage. And he brings in Rotom Wash now. Just going to go for the Toxic, which is really nice. And if he did stay with Umbreon, it would have just made him take another turn to go for the Heal Bell and just some more time to stall, so it's really great. So he goes for the Volt Switch here. My Rotom Wash is almost gone. He could just go for the Protect here easily, and then I would lose my Rotom Wash due to Sandstorm. But I know he's going to do something like that, but it turns out it goes for the Heal Bell. Here I go for the Superpower, thinking whatever happens, he's not going to bring in Shandy because of the Crunch last time, but he lives. how does he live? That tells me he's more physically defensive than the average Umbreon. So now this gives me a chance with Alakazam or even Heatran just to get off a Lava Plume or Focus Blast, and I probably will have a good time there. And if I could get some residual, if I could get a burn on this Umbreon, this will be very nice, because that way I can stall it out enough that he's going to have to spend some time going for the Heal Bell, then maybe go into Zam to get off a Focus Blast, or even bring in T-Tar if he's low enough to go for the Superpower. So I'm going to go for the Toxic again. Turns out I missed, which is a bit unfortunate because now he's in a range where Superpower could have killed, except the Wish recovery does get him back to full. So I'm just going to go for the Lava Plume here. If I burn something, great. But now he brings in Rotom Wash again, and that Umbreon is just so annoying. If I can take that out, I will have a great chance of winning. But now here I have to fodder off my Rotom Wash because I'm just at a low amount of health and something had to eat a Hydro. So now I bring in Zam, and I think it's worthy of taking away its Sash by just going for the Psyshock to do some damage on that Rotom Wash. Now it brings in Shandy. I don't know if it's Scarfed, I don't know yet, so I have to scout out with my Heatran here. It turns out that he has HP Fighting, anticipating my T-Tar to come in, which would have been a really nice play because then I could have pursued trapped him otherwise. But now I just go for the Toxic here, knowing that he's probably going to switch out, and it turns out he goes into Umbreon. Now here I go into T-Tar. I'm really hoping that he's at a range where Superpower may be able to take him out. Not sure, it's definitely not looking likely. But here I'm just going to lock myself into Superpower, and the switch to Shandy is so obvious that I have to switch out, and I'm going to go right to my Heatran. I basically wall that Shandy's set besides HP Fighting, which still won't do too much, and he doesn't know if I carry the Earth Power yet. So I'm just going to go for the Toxic one more time. He brings in Umbreon, and now I can easily go back to my T-Tar, hoping that he's at a range where Superpower may be able to take him out. I don't know, it's going to be really close. So once again, I'm going to lock myself into Superpower. He protects the Scout I locked myself into. Now last time I double switched, so I'm predicting that he's going to stay in this time safely, and to get that prediction correct and take out that Umbreon with a debatable crit. Not sure if that mattered, but now his Wish support is gone, and this is great. Now his Shandy comes in, and the HP Fighting is pretty obvious. I'm going to go to Heatran just in case he tries going for the Shadow Ball, predicting my Zam. I have 3 pokes, and all he has left is Rotom Wash and Shandy. Now something here has to eat up a Hydro, and I just need to think, what am I going to fodder off? So I am going to fodder off my T-Tar, because otherwise he could have just locked himself into HP Fighting, and then that would have been great for him. So now I have 2 pokes that can actually take HP Fighting or the Shadow Ball, depending on what he wants to go for. So I bring in Zam now, and he switches out, and he brings in his Rotom Wash just as fodder. I go for the Shadow Ball, and I brings it right back in. Turns out he is Scarfed because he outspeeds me here and goes for the Shadow Ball. So my Heatran here is at pretty nice health. I am special defensive, so I'm going to take the... I get crit. I mean, it'll be alright, but I miss the Toxic. Okay, well, I have Toxic and HP Ice, so I can't really touch this thing, and then he gets the Spadef drop, but I hit the Toxic, so that's great, so I think I'll be fine, right? I mean, I think HP Ice will do enough, but the Shadow Ball is doing too much, and now he lives with freaking, lives with 8%, honestly, like, okay, done. I'm done. GG, no re.